Okay, so I'm gonna share what I learned here on my 430 lawn tractor. It's got the 3-cylinder Yanmar. The tractor was running really rough. You can see in my other video, it was acting like it was getting air in the lines, in the fuel lines, and I'd bleed everything and it'd run okay for a short period, and then it'd start running rough again and I'd bleed them and it'd run rough, and I was fighting that. And so, off a suggestion from one of the forums, I went and I checked my fuel lines here between the fuel pump primarily and the fuel tank. And there's a fuel line. The main fuel line is this one. It runs off the tank down to the fuel pump there. And what I found, this is the old piece of fuel line. It was sitting right like that, is right where this made a bend. Right here, the line had started to fail. You can kind of see in there, where I don't know if it got hot or something got on there, and there was a pinhole leak in that hose. And you can kind of see where fuel had been leaking out. So as the fuel pump would pull fuel out of the tank, it would also pull air through that pinhole leak and put air into my system and make the engine run rough, and then you can bleed it out and start it up and it just start pulling more air. It was a really weird intermittent problem. So these hoses, you know, they can look okay, but you can get certain sharp bends and things in there or whatever where they start to fail. So I got a new piece of fuel line, and while I replaced that, these rubber grommets right here like to get hard and fail, and then your fuel tank leaks. So I replaced that. I'm about to replace the one over here too. This is the return line from the injectors. That doesn't need to be sealed up. You can't pull air into the motor through this line, but you do got to seal where it goes into the tank so your tank doesn't leak. That's my next step. One thing I found is the parts book does not call for a rubber grommet to be used over here, but that's actually an error in the John Deere parts catalog. You do need the same part number rubber grommet for this inlet, or for this hookup here, as you need for this other one. So I've got another one of these grommets. It'll poke down in that hole and that fitting will go in, but that one was leaking and I'm having to do some more work on it. So with that line replaced and fuel in the tank, then hear the fuel pump go and glow plug shuts off. Running great. So there you have it. Problem looks like the problem's solved. We'll start running it again and hopefully nothing else will pop up. Okay.